Okay, people, so we got some spoilers in for Boruto's upcoming chapter, I believe chapter 62, and keep it real, I'm not really sure how I feel about these spoilers and about what this chapter is seemingly going to be all about, because essentially from what I understand with these spoilers, we're getting the reason why Kawaki tried to leave Konoha and essentially left the village, and it's kind of like, to a certain degree, the way he did this, and unless there's more to it, because there very well could be, there could be a plan in motion or something like that, it feels half-baked. It definitely felt a little bit desperate, and at the same time with these spoilers, it's kind of making also some of the other characters just kind of look a little bit like clueless, and like, what are you doing right now? Like Naruto and Boruto, it's like, yeah, definitely a mixed bag, so to speak. I'm not going to be reading out because there's no like synopsis or summary of it. There was just like text verbatim, and I read all of it, so I'm not going to read it out verbatim. What I'm going to do is basically summarize for the most part what happened and give my brief thoughts. Again, this is just the spoilers. We don't have the full-on chapter for the next couple days, but yeah, let's take a look at Kawaki's reason for leaving and also the major climactic ass whooping that Kawaki took at the hands of Code. Let's do it.
No matter how you move, get it done. No matter how you move, get it done. No matter how you move, get it done. No matter how you move, get it done.
Okay, so essentially the chapter's composition, and this was all courtesy of Organic Dinosaur, the spoilers, but the first 30% or so of the chapter was essentially Naruto, Boruto, and some of the sensory division. And essentially it's just Boruto, like, the first mistake I felt was Boruto goes to, instead of just running down straight away like, yo, let me go to my all-powerful father that, you know, is the leader of this village and everything, let me go tell him what happened with Kawaki. He tries to go tell the sensory division, like, yo, Kawaki dipped out, blah, blah, blah. And the sensory division, first of all, even if you tell them, like, what are they gonna do? Like, Kawaki, like, Boruto and Kawaki could own each and every one of the sensory division if they really wanted to. So you alerting them, especially if there's like a threat from Kara, like, what are they gonna do? Why are you even wasting our time right now talking to these idiots that is like, no, he's still in the house, what are you talking about? You're just trying to pull something. So I'm just there like, already strike one of like, why? What's going on here, fam? But Boruto tries to alert the sensory division, and ultimately it fails. Eventually Naruto gets brought into the conversation, and then Naruto's there questioning his son like, hey, are you just trying to escape? I know you've been saying that the sensory division bothering you, you know, watching you is annoying you and stuff like that. And I'm just there all over the place like, yo, what are we doing here, fam? Like, why are you like, I get it to a certain degree, like, it's kind of conflicting between, like, Naruto has a serious task of, hey, I gotta watch these kids, hey, I gotta make sure I protect them, but also, I'm a father, I gotta know if my kid is trying to pull a fast one on me and shit like that. So I understand that aspect, and I'm glad that eventually Naruto's like, well, let's double check. And once he actually realizes that that was a shadow clone from Kawaki, he's like, oh shit, you know what I'm saying? So I guess in that aspect it was kind of like, well, you know, stuck between a rock and a hard place for Naruto. But then ultimately when they finally realized that it's not, you know, Kawaki, and, you know, they talked to Ino and Shikamaru, which there was, I want to say, like another 10% of the chapter was Amado barely speaking, because you could tell that Amado's main concern, in my opinion, is not even the safety of Konoha at all. He don't care about Konoha. He don't care about really much other than Kawaki. Like, in this chapter, yet again, based on these spoilers, he's talking like, wait a minute, so how did he get away? Like, what's going on with the sensory division? Like, that's when he always gets concerned. He doesn't really give a shit about anything else, and these spoilers demonstrate yet again, Amado just like, wait, what? So it happened to Kawaki? Like, it could be, oh yeah, the leaf is on fire. Oh shit, you know what I'm saying? Wow. What? Kawaki stubbed his toe! So already, the chapter, again, and I'm very briefly summarizing, there was a lot that was said and done in these, you know, events, but already the chapter had me a little bit like, okay. I mean, when I first read, I'm not gonna lie, reading all the dialogue and everything, I was a little bit intrigued. It felt a little bit more melodramatic, I guess you could say, but ultimately at the same time, like, yo, there's big forces that could come at any second and strike, and Kawaki ran away, and also it was making me wonder, like, yo, so where are we going with this? Is this going potentially like the route of Sasuke leaving the village on some I need power, or I'm gonna join forces with them. But then when we cut to the Kawaki and Code situation with Ada watching the entire thing while she's petting Damon as he's sleeping and shit like that, one of the things that, or the big reveal seemingly based on these spoilers that Kawaki says, is that he tried to essentially sacrifice himself to Code. In fact, I'm going to read the exact dialogue that is said right here. Kawaki says, if you're going to kill someone, kill me, and then back out and take your hands off of Konoha. And it was just kind of like, there got to be more to it, and I'm praying that there's more to it than that, because Code just whips Kawaki's ass. Seemingly throughout the chapter, Kawaki stood no chance. Code just beat the living dog tar out of him. It was just like pathetic. At one point, Kawaki starts like crawling over, dragging himself, begging Code, please leave Konoha alone. And I'm like, I gotta commend at the very least that, like, I gotta commend Kawaki for, okay, yo, you really love this village to the point of you willing to beg, get on your hands and knees. Like, if Code would have said bark like a chicken, which I don't know how a chicken could bark, but if Code would have said some wild shit, Kawaki probably would have done it. So I commend him in that aspect, but fam, what are you doing? Like, did you really think that was going to work? I'm wondering, with somebody that he's been shown to be a little bit more tactical than that. I mean, look at how everything turned out with Ishiki, how he was able to outmaneuver an Otsutsuki God. I'm hoping that he deduced some of this shit and is not just completely like an adolescent little brat that just thought, well, maybe if I sacrifice myself and I beg, he'll listen. Like, no, I'm hoping that he had more strategy to this, because by the end of the chapter, seemingly Boruto shows up, and you know, like, now there's a little bit of forces there to stand side by side with Kawaki. But I'm hoping that he, maybe in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, well, maybe he figured if he runs, eventually Boruto and them are gonna come after him, and he had to do it on a sneak tip so that it'll bring all the sensory division, you know, forces, because then they will kind of be a distraction that Code could use as like, oh, I'm gonna kill them if you don't leave me alone. So maybe he was trying to lure Code over here enough time so that Naruto could show up, and then Naruto and Boruto and him could take out Code. Maybe that was a strategy or something, like he has something planned. But that's the way I can kind of make myself feel a little bit better about, like, yo, Kawaki gets the living shit kicked out of him, begs and crawls on his knees to Code, please just take me. And in the end, Code is like, well, you're not even somebody that unfortunately I can kill because of the whole pact that he has with Ada. He's like, no, you're gonna be okay. It's the other ones. And I'm just there like, what the hell? So Kawaki broke free, did this entire plan all for essentially nothing. And now Boruto is there at harm's way as well, because he's another one that, you know, Code is gonna eventually take out. So it's like, I guess my frustration really lies with, like, did Kawaki really think that this was going to work? And this is why he left the village. It wasn't on some, I'm gonna try and be cool with them, like, which again, even that strategy is a little bit like, I don't know if he'd be cool with you, and would you really, you know what I'm saying? So like, his strategy being that I'm gonna try and sacrifice myself, it's noble, it's honorable, I can respect it from that aspect. But it's Kara, it's Code, he's on top of that they have history. Like, you would think Kawaki would know, which that's why I'm betting that there has to be more to Kawaki's plan than that. If you know a little bit about Code, you were around him for a while and shit like that, maybe you would know that he's not going to just take that line down and keep it moving forward. So we gotta wait and see. But I'm looking forward to actually getting the full-on chapter and reading the chapter and stuff like that to get more context to everything and see everything in play, because as it stands right now, I don't know if I really hate this or love it. Like, a certain part of me was like, yo, this is kind of crazy, you know, showing that Code is, you know, completely in another league than Kawaki. We got Kawaki and Boruto, like two brothers essentially, that are ready to take this dude out. So we got that aspect of it. But part of me is just like, Kawaki, you begging like Keep Sweat right now, and I don't know what's going on here, fam. You need to relax, and this was a bad plan. If you don't got more to it, if there's no plot twist to all of this right now, you goofed really bad, and now you just brought Kara straight next to the leaf, and you put everybody in danger. And also, why is Boruto by himself over there? Why didn't Naruto run with Boruto immediately? Why did he leave his son? Hey, oh, come back, Boruto. Like, why are you staying at home? What are you doing? So that was something else that kind of bothered me, I guess, the way Naruto was characterized in this chapter, of kind of, he felt a little bit like he was bumbling and stumbling, and then at the end, there's Boruto by himself. Like, no, it should have been Boruto and Naruto together, and let's get this shit popping. So hopefully Naruto within the next chapter or so will show up and, you know, we'll get that shit going. But here's what you guys think. Based on everything I told you, the spoilers of this chapter, how do you feel about Kawaki essentially trying to sacrifice himself? And that's why he ran away, because he knew Code would come after him. And ultimately, if this is all that is there to Kawaki's plan, your thoughts on that? How did you feel about Naruto kind of just bumbling and stumbling, Boruto getting over there by himself to Code and Kawaki, and Naruto not being there? Boruto went to the sensory division ninja first. Like, what? I gotta read this chapter to make sure like all of this is, you know, completely like displayed in this way, because perspective could change a lot of things. And your overall thoughts and expectations for this chapter, Boruto of chapter 62, spoilers, very peculiar to say the least. But that's all I have for this one. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you liked anything I had to say or enjoyed the video, drop me a like. I'd greatly appreciate it. And if you want more from me, make sure to subscribe. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram. Hit that bell to get all notifications. And if you want to follow any of my other social media, links are in the description below. I'm from that world, and as always, people, have an awesome day. And remember the golden rule: anime and manga for life, boy. Have an awesome day. Peace in, and yeah, Kawaki, I hope there's more to your plan right now, because you may have just started something, and yeah, I don't know, shit is crazy. Have an awesome one.
So just go to find me.